Good evening, everybody. For me, it's an honor to introduce Mr. Ivan Simonovic. He's the Assistant Secretary General to the New York office of the United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights. Mr. Simonovic had a long diplomatic and legal career. Lastly, before he joined the United Nations, he was the Minister of Justice in the Croatian government. Mr. Simonovic will present the speech of Mr. Ban Ki-moon, the Secretary General of the United Nations, who was unable to be here tonight. Allow me to say a few words about Mr. Ban Ki-moon and his work at the UN. I remember in 2007, Mr. Ban Ki-moon gave a speech in San Francisco, and while he was speaking to the audience, a man got up and started to shout, "You have to talk about gay rights! Gay rights! You have to talk about gay rights!" Of course, the man was led away by security personnel, and Ban Ki-moon continued with his speech. That was in 2007. Now, 3 years later, in 2010, Human Rights Watch and the International Gay and Lesbian Human Rights Commission organized a big event at the United Nations on the 10th of December, the International Day for Human Rights. And we had invited Mr. Ban Ki-moon to speak about LGBT rights, and we were so honored that he accepted the invitation. He came, he opened the event, and he held a marvelous speech, and I would like to quote a few words from his speech. He said, "When individuals are attacked, abused, or imprisoned because of their sexual orientation, we must speak out. We cannot stand by. We cannot be silent." End of quote. And please remember these words when you are watching Me Kuchu. They are extremely relevant, those words. And actually, that is what Ban Ki-moon has been doing. He speaks out, and not only in the safe environment of the UN building here in New York, but he also goes to Africa to meet with African leaders, and in their hometown, he speaks up. He talks about LGBT rights. Doesn't make him popular, but he is doing that. So Mr. Ban Ki-moon has become a staunch supporter of LGBT people and our strive for true universality of human rights. And I don't think his speeches will be disturbed anymore like what happened in San Francisco. And that's why I'm honored to invite Mr. Simonovic to the stage to read the Secretary General's speech. Mr. Simonovic, please take the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is both my pleasure and an honor to deliver this speech and address you on behalf of the United Nations Secretary General Ban Ki-moon. The film you are about to see tells the story of a group of brave, committed men and women who stand up against bigotry and discrimination at a great personal risk to themselves. They are harassed, threatened, and attacked. They are treated with callous cruelty that no human being should have to endure. Yet, despite all this, they conduct themselves with calmness, optimism, and dignity. It is truly remarkable. Violence and discrimination against lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people is a human rights violation. A violation that states have a moral duty and a legal obligation to address. At the end of last year, the High Commissioner for Human Rights published the first ever official United Nations report on this problem. In all regions of the world, LGBT people suffer discrimination. At work, at home, at school, in all aspects of their daily life. Too often they have trouble in finding housing or obtaining basic health care and pension benefits. Too often they are subjected to verbal abuse or singled out for attack, torture, or even murder. In 76 countries, having a partner of the same sex is a prosecutable crime. People are arrested, imprisoned, in some cases executed, just because they are in loving relationships. This is an affront to the principles on which the United Nations were founded: equality, freedom, tolerance, and inherent dignity of each and every individual. No custom or tradition, no cultural values or religious beliefs can justify depriving a human being of his or her human rights. This is why, as UN Secretary General, I take every opportunity to push leaders to listen and to act. But I'm conscious that the hardest work is done by local activists like those you will see in this movie. To them, I want to say, you are an inspiration to me and to millions of people around the world. I am proud to join in this great human rights cause. However hard and however long it may take, I know that justice will prevail and that all people will enjoy the rights and dignity they deserve. Thank you.